Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go, let's go.
Figgy Fig, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rock, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go in the jacuzzi, smoking threats. I got my feet up. Cut them haters off, I told them beat it. I don't need you. Spend 50 racks in cash, but it's all good. I got my visa. This rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa. My ghetto, 9 keys. I beat it like a creature. She always like my sneakers. These Jordan 5 pink aces. Let's go. I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row. He really the one, but they already know. So all of my chains go put on the show.
Giving out gems, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. I need to back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80. We really 10 toes down on the page. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Let's go. Gems, sippin' juice. Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Rockin' gems, sippin' juice. Let's go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You sliding around playing Eminem in your car, you and your old lady?
That's not how the game. That's not how the game is played. You can't do that.
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
Gems and shoes.
There we go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Gems and shoes. Gems and shoes.
Yeah. Finally, we got the Jay-Z shout out. Finally, after what? How long we been doing this podcast now?
Since like 2017, man.
Yeah, long, almost 10 years, man. It's wild to think about. But we finally got the Jay-Z shout out.
Gems and shoes.
Yeah, that's actually Jay-Z. It's not AI. That's actually Jay-Z saying that.
Yes.
Now, granted, he may have not been actually saying gems and juice, but close enough, man. It sounds like gems and juice. We taking it.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like it, to be honest.
Gems and juice.
He was trying to say gems and jewels, but with his fucking New York accent, he can't pronounce the L in jewels, so it sounds like gems and juice. We taking gems and juice, all right? So finally got the shout out. Now we're waiting on our Rock Nation. I don't think they don't even do the Rock Nation brunch anymore, do they?
They haven't done it in a year or two, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it's done now. So I think Diddy ruined it. So I don't know what happened, but no more Rock Nation brunch. But maybe we could get an exclusive interview, man. I don't know. We'll have to tap in with Jay. Also, want to start off by giving a quick, maybe I don't want to say an apology, but maybe we overreacted in our takes about the Astros last podcast. Because since we almost buried the Astros for losing the opening day game, after losing the first 2 games against the Angels, they've been on a roll. They've been undefeated since then. They split the series with the Angels and swept the Red Sox. So maybe we were a little too quick to press eject on the season, man. Maybe it's a little too soon because they're looking good right now.
Yeah, they looking real good, man. So it's still early, but look, it ain't over.
Yeah, they still in it, man. Of course, it's very, 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 very early in the season still. But yeah, they're still in it. So yeah, maybe a little bit overreaction on them. Oh yeah, happy Good Friday. What's up, Captain Fireball on YouTube? Happy Easter, gentlemen. Hope you
man, Marty, what's up, man?
Hope you're doing well, man. So yeah, this is the Gems and Juice podcast. We're back at it. Figgy Fig, Ryan Rocket. I like your new title, by the way. It's founder of the Pat Eve Babe Foundation. Explain that for the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. So for those who don't know, I started my own nonprofit, and we did have a event. I want to say it was last month where we made Easter baskets. I partnered up with Lily's Toy Box.
Okay.
And we created Easter baskets and we gave them out to different organizations, for the kids that was in need and all that stuff. And the Pat E baby, I came up with that because that my mom name is Pat.
Mm-hmm.
And she was born on Christmas Eve and she always went by E baby. So if you see her Instagram, her Instagram is Pat E baby, or I think it might be E baby. But yeah, so I came up with this name for the nonprofit to kind of help, family and children now throughout the year, during like big times of the year, like holidays and stuff like that. And yeah, so I just came up with that and got the website going too. Is PatEBabyFoundation.org. Check it out and all that. I'm still working on it. But yeah. So it's something I wanted to do, and this was when my mother was living. But fortunately, she passed away. I didn't get a chance to tell her what I was working on because I was still in the process of working on it. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I got going on.
That's really dope, man. I know she'd be proud of that. So yeah, that's really dope. Really dope. Gonna check out that website and y'all donate, do whatever you can for a good cause and support Figgy Fig, of course, because it's all going to good causes over here.
Yeah,
so.
the next thing I want to do is I want to start gearing up for back to school stuff. So like partner up trying to get backpacks, haircuts, that type of stuff. So if you interested in helping me be a part of that, hey, just reach out to me.
Hell yeah. Drop a link or something and we'll definitely get us support, man, because we love Figgy and it's going to a good cause. So yeah, we're definitely gonna support that.
Yeah,
that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Now getting into more silly stuff. A lot to talk about in this podcast, man, today. A lot on the docket, man. A lot happened this week.
Yeah.
New music, new drama, new everything. So without further ado, we'll just get right into it, man. Let's get into music reviews. Finally, after a long wait, after we were going to do it last podcast, but it hadn't officially come out, so we waited. And I think the next day he finally dropped it. Kanye West's next album, Bully, has arrived. It is officially released on physicals and every streaming platform now. I believe it's projected to go number 2. I don't know what beat it, but I think 100 and something K streams and whatever. I don't care about that. Fucking with the bots and all this shit. I don't even care about the Billboard placements anymore. They don't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, it seems to be doing well, regardless of what he's said and done in the past. And it's a I will say 17 songs, very short, like we mentioned in the past podcast. I believe it's 17 tracks in under 45 minutes long. So that just lets you know there's a lot of songs that are a minute 30, 2 minutes, a couple that are 3 and longer. But aside from that, it's very much kind of like ADD music almost. You hear a song, then a minute later you're on to the next one. It's like scrolling through TikTok almost. But reviews have been kind of mixed. There's been people, I think all the official reviewers have kind of dogged it because, they don't want to give Kanye props. So I think that has something to do with it. But from what I've seen from the audience and people who actually like his music, they think this is kind of a return of the old Kanye. His best album since Donda, the first Donda, probably back in 2020 that dropped.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
something around that time. So yeah, it's been a little mixed reaction professionally and publicly. But Figgy, let me get your thoughts, man. What do you think about this Is Kanye back? And if so, are you supporting this Nazi and this white supremacist, whatever you want to call them?
So I listened to this whole album, and I think the production is really good, man. I like the production a lot. I like that he got back to some of the samples and all that. But honestly, I still can't say he's back, man, because look, his production might be, closer to what it used to be, but to me the lyrics was very mid, man. Like I felt like I didn't get a classic Kanye type of verse. And I ain't talking to look, I'm not going back to Graduation or My Twisted Dark Fantasy or all that shit. I'm not even going back to, like, I got the bar low. Like, give me something from at least Donda. And I feel like you didn't really get that, man. It seemed like, and even with the production, I feel like it could have hit a bit harder. Like some of the songs where I'm like, oh, this song gonna hit. And it felt like it kind of missed the mark a little bit. So like I was fine with the production, but I think it could have been better. And I didn't realize that it was a lot of different people missing from this project, like the Mike Deans and all that. I think that was probably a bigger deal than I would have imagined, because honestly, I'm thinking like, oh, Kanye, he'd do whatever he can. And I think missing Mike Dean was very important. And so like, it was a cool album to me. I like this better than, Vultures and all that, but it was very short, and I felt like he didn't really put effort into the lyrics at all. I just didn't really care for it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed in it, but to me, I'm not ready to say the old Ye is back. Like, I don't think so. I saw a few people, kind of a few media people praising it, like, wow, this is amazing and all. And they did that with the last couple albums. But I'm just like, man, I don't really know what y'all listening for, man. Like, I just don't get it. The lyrics wasn't there at all to me. The production, I could kind of get on board with the production, but I felt like he was missing a lot of key pieces. I think just the lack of no Pusha T there. I think the lack of just, Sci-Hi just kind of being it. I think all of that was missing. And so as much as we always just look for Kanye, just the production and musically, I still look for a little bit of lyrics, man. And he didn't have anything where I'm like, oh, he talking that shit on this album. I didn't come away with anything in that. Like, I really liked the song. I think it was Beauty and the Beast. Like, yeah. I thought that was a cool beat and concept, but he really wasn't saying nothing on there, man. It wasn't nothing going on there outside of the beat. And there's a few other songs that was okay. I didn't really care for the song with Travis Scott. I didn't care. Yeah,
same.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. I did appreciate Travis Scott actually rapping on there with no auto-tune.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, you do got a little something of that. And I like the Bully song a little bit with CeeLo Green. I thought that was cool. He had some cool songs like that, but not anything where I'm like, okay, y'all, it's about to be a long summer for people. Like, I just didn't see it with this album.
Yeah, no, and oh yeah. By the way, what's up, Matt? See you on YouTube. He said, "Good evening, guys. Happy to tune in tonight. Good to have you here, man. Hope you're doing well on this Good Friday and Easter Sunday weekend." So yeah, I think I liked it probably a little more than you did, the album, but that's also, I think a lot of it is because of just how a lot of mainstream rap is now today. I don't think hip hop is dead at all, but I think as far as mainstream artists, nobody makes music that sounds like this anymore. So when you do get something that sounds even a little bit like the old Kanye, it's like it brings back those old feelings of, man, back when music was really hitting and the production was really, is not just the same shit, people with the same flows on the same type of beats over and over again. And so I appreciate like the nostalgia, because I do feel like this album is like a greatest hits of Kanye's career. You get a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of the soul sample from the College Dropout days. You get a little bit of the 808s and Heartbreaks. You get a little bit of Dark Twisted Fantasy in there. You get a little bit of Yeezus, experimental crazy shit. So you get, it's like a greatest hits album almost. And I agree lyrically, there wasn't a whole lot there. I think we've seen the result of him getting canceled and pissing everybody off, because number one, there were several samples he couldn't clear on this album. And the main one I noticed was he had the Supremes at one point for that I Can't Wait. And he had somebody else sing the Diana Ross shit, and it sounded terrible to me. I didn't like it. So yeah, I didn't like that. And somebody else, I can't forget it, some lady who he sampled actually said that she didn't clear the sample because of the stuff he's been saying. So yeah, there's that. There's also the fact that clearly whoever's ghostwriting for him, if he still has ghostwriters, is not really doing a great job. Sci-Hi, like you said, Rhyme Fest, people who used to make him look super lyrical are not there anymore. Yeah. So what you got is just bullshit talking Kanye, rhyming stupid shit. And yeah, the harmony, like the harmonies and shit are on point. The flow is all right, but lyrically, like you said, it's not a whole lot there. And I do agree with that point. But there are some good songs on it, man. I do feel like this album is kind of meant to be listened to like the entire way through. It's not one of those albums you kind of cherry pick your best song, because its best songs are too short. You can't even get into them before they end. Yeah. So it's almost like it's meant to just listen to from start to finish. And I don't know how that does for replay value for the album. You know, how many times do you feel like just putting on an album from start to finish and just running it through? Not a whole lot. Usually we just pick and see whatever we feel like listening to on that day. So there's that. But honestly, man, I thought it was, I'm not saying Kanye's back. I don't think it's as good or better than Donda, but it's way better than Vultures.
I agree.
I do feel like he's kind of accepted who he is and not trying to chase the new nigga sound anymore like he was with Ty Dolla $ign on those albums, man. I think he needs to just accept that, look, old Kanye is fine. We love old Kanye. Old Kanye is what sells out stadiums worldwide. We don't want the new Kanye on trap beats trying to keep up with, you know, the new rappers of today. We don't want to hear it, man. Just stick to what you know, and that's good enough. Yeah, I think we kind of got that here.
How did you see any clips from his performance at SoFi Stadium?
No, I saw somebody upload it from YouTube, but it looks like they were way up in the stand. So I know apparently he streamed it on IG, but I didn't catch the stream. I think I was at the gym or something. So I didn't actually see the live stream of it. But did you see it? Was it good?
I saw some clips of it, and it's funny because he was very Kanye with it.
Of course.
With the he was trying to perform Good Life, and he was just like, whoa, pause. I don't like the lights right here. I don't like can y'all turn the lights off? And then, all right, let's go again. And then he tried to perform again. No, stop. He was doing one of those. And at that moment, I'm like, this is exactly why he could never perform at the Super Bowl, man. Mm-hmm. Like, forget all the political stuff, forget all the anti-Semitic stuff. It's him simply doing that shit in the middle of a show. Like, it's the reason why he can't do this. Like, dog, who in their right mind would do something like that during a concert? Just keep telling the DJ, play it back, start it over. Like, what is going on? Like, this ain't rehearsal. This is an actual concert. So I thought that was funny, but the visual of the concert looked amazing. Like, he was standing on this big old spear, which looked like Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked super dope. Like he was just walking on the world. And then I seen the clip of him performing Jesus Walk, And I ain't gonna lie, that looked amazing. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, those type of moments is when I wish I could have been there. Like I would go to a Kanye concert if it always looked like that, because there's no other concert that you can't go to another concert that's going to look like that.
Mhm.
And he put a lot of effort into the production, so I salute him for that. But yeah, I thought it looked amazing, man.
Yeah, I did see that clip. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I did think it was funny because it seemed to imply that he didn't rehearse at all. Like, you didn't know these lights were going to be here, man.
And he
So
said, let's go through the stuff we did in rehearsal. Like, what?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, Kanye, as far as performers go and performances, Kanye in hip hop is second to none. He's always put on a good show from what I've seen. And people always leave satisfied. And so yeah, I'm not surprised he's back to doing stadium. Some people in London are pissed, or people are pissed that he's just doing. By the way, if you hadn't noticed or seen, he's headlining, I think it's called Wireless Festival in London.
Mhm.
And he's doing it on the same days that Jay-Z is doing his Yankee Stadium performances, July 10th, 11th, and 12th. So of course they're playing it up and asking people on the street, like, would you rather go to Jay-Z or Kanye and all this stuff? Number one, do you think that's petty of Kanye, or do you think it's just a coincidence that the festival and he's headlining at the same time that Jay-Z's doing that? Do you think it's intentional or not?
I want to say, honestly, in my mind, I want to say it's not, because I feel like that type of stuff just don't happen overnight. I would think maybe that was already in the workings, and he already did the show at SoFi Stadium. I think he had 2 shows, but he already did that. So in my mind, I want to say it was probably already in the workings. But just knowing how Kanye is, I could see him just being petty a little bit, man. Like, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he felt like he's better than Jay-Z and he can sell out stadiums or festivals and all this other stuff. So to me, it would surprise me if that was the case. But in this case, I think I will probably say it was just a coincidence, because Jay-Z, he just announced those dates, was it 2 weeks ago? So unless they were moving super fast and he said, hey, I want to do this festival these 3 days, then I don't know. I don't think that was a good. It probably was already in the workings.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a coincidence, a crazy coincidence. But since Jay-Z never does shows, and now the first time he's doing something just happens to coincide with a huge Kanye West concert as well. So yeah, I think it's a coincidence, but kind of a crazy one. And of course, people are going to compare the numbers and which show was better and all that. So there's going to be that. But I did think it was pretty funny that ended up that way.
Let's say Jay-Z getting a taste of his own medicine, man.
Yeah, all them years he was stepping on Nas. Now he's getting his own shit stepped on. So there you go.
How do you think it's gonna play? Do you think everything just gonna be sold out?
Yeah, I think so.
It's one of those things too, and because this is in London, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where everybody gonna eat.
Yeah.
I don't think somebody's sitting there saying, should I go to Jay-Z or should I go to Kanye? I think unless you're just filthy rich or something and you got the access to just run over to London and get some ticket and go over there, I think both of these guys going to eat regardless. I think it's probably going to be a sellout for everything.
No, I agree. And I got to also kind of maybe walk back what I said before, because I said I didn't think Kanye would ever tour again. I think because of the insurance issues and whatnot, and plus how volatile he is and what he might say with an open mic. But now I'm starting to reconsider, man. I think we might actually see a Kanye tour pretty soon, just because of, all these other tours getting canceled or shows canceled. People can't sell tickets. People don't want to pay this expensive stuff for prices for tickets. Kanye is one of those artists that people will pay out the ass for.
Yeah.
That's one of the few artists that people will actually have no problem paying $1,000 plus to go see, because they know he puts, number one, the hits are massive. Number two, he puts on a great performance. So you could argue it's actually worth going to a Kanye show for a crazy ticket amount. So we might actually see a Kanye tour sooner rather than later, just because of the fact that he can move tickets and sell out stadiums and nobody else really can. So we might actually see it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can see that too. And I think right now, I think him selling out SoFi Stadium and then see what he gonna do in London. Hey, money talks, man.
Yeah.
And if he's doing well enough where he can still sell out, man, all that anti-Semitic stuff gonna go out the window, man.
100%.
Yeah, like these stadiums and House of Blue, Ticket, all of them, they gonna turn the other way, man. As long as that check cashing, that's all that matters.
100%. I saw some people upset. They're saying, well, certain artists are still banned and blacklisted because of things they said that were less offensive. I'm like, look, do they got Kanye hits? Can they sell out Kanye arenas and stadiums? If they could, then they wouldn't be canceled or blacklisted. The only reason Kanye gets away with it is because money talks, like you said, and people will pay to see him.
Yeah, and he still got a rapid fan base. That's and I think I saw another article saying, I guess him and Nike are back talking again.
Of course.
And I'm like, man, like that was, and I think Nike was kind of they were jumping on board with him saying all that stuff. They jumped on board, tried to say, oh, we're getting away from this guy. But
you saying Nike or Adidas?
I think it was what I thought it was. Oh, you know what? He was with Adidas.
He was with Adidas, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nike tried to.
He started off with Nike. That's right. That's right. But yeah, man. Like I said, I think like it don't matter what he said, man. They know the impact of what Kanye West got and how much these people want to buy his stuff, no matter what it is. So I think they just, they ain't never going to just take the high moral route and just say, oh no, he said this. We don't care how many shoes he said. Nah, man, they gonna go wherever whoever's making them money.
No, 100%. Money always talks.
I'm sure Adidas probably kicking themselves in the ass right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, on one hand, they had to, but on the other hand, sneaker sales, especially like Nike, are going down right now. Nike's suffering. Adidas brand, fell since Kanye left, and they haven't really gotten that traction back. So, yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures, and they will take what comes with it if it means more profit. So, yeah, I would not be surprised if he linked up with a major shoe company soon and put something out there, because really he's moving a lot of merch just by himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. Somebody gonna come knocking. I'm sure somebody will. That's just how the world works, man.
If Kanye just shut the hell up and don't say anything crazy, just leave politics out of it, just leave his personal opinions out of it, man, he might be the biggest star. he might actually, at his age, become one of the biggest stars again. Like nobody that's new or anything like that. Like all the shit he been through, he might pass up everybody as just this mega superstar, man.
And it's not even just that. I think it's the world has become so crazy that now what he said, what he was saying doesn't seem as bad to people in hindsight, I'm sure. Because you look at the country now and it's like, okay, motherfuckers reelected Donald Trump and all the shit that's going on with that, how he just does not give a fuck, got us into another war, all this shit. And now we're Benjamin Netanyahu basically running the United States right now. And we look at all this shit, and I think companies will look at Kanye and be like, you know what? If this country was insane enough to run back Donald Trump, and be okay with how the country's going right now, then maybe it'll be okay with Kanye being back in the spotlight saying whatever the fuck, because everybody else saying crazy shit and nothing's happening to them. So fuck it. But I think that might be how they see it now. They like, fuck it. It's more, we saw it how all the companies that were pro DEI rolled back that shit as soon as Trump got back in office. And all that woke stuff they were pushing, they canceled it or moved it out and fired all the diversity hires and all this shit. I look, they see where the country they think is going, and they follow the dollar. They have no morals or values. They don't give a fuck about Jewish people or black people or white anybody. Yeah. They care about money, and if money is where Kanye is, then they're gonna go with Kanye. Well, you're muted.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. They probably sitting there like, oh, what he said wasn't that bad after all. They just, as long as he making money, he gonna keep going. That's kind of been the deal in music, period, man. Like we saw it with R. Kelly, how all the stuff that was going on back then, he was still making hits. So people just they just turned away from it, and they just kept rolling with him until he couldn't make any more hits. And once that was it, then everybody turned their back on him. And so right now, Kanye's in a place where he might not be making the same type of music he was making, but hey, people still worship that dude, man. People still buy whatever he put out. He could put out a fucking plain ass shirt, a Gildan shirt, and people will still buy it, man. So like right now, like I just and we see all the stuff he said, man, and people still didn't cancel him like that, man. Like that dude is still going. So I just he's Teflon at this point.
Pretty much, man. Oh yeah, we didn't rate the album. We haven't done the Gyms and Juice rating in a while. It's qualified or pig pen. Basically, classic or trash for us. Qualified or pig pen. So Figgy Fig, what do you rate Kanye's Bully album?
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to say it's pig pen, man.
Damn, it's pig pen.
Yeah, I just don't think I go back to it, man. I like, look, I think it's better than the other ones, or that the other ones that came after Donda. But to me, this ain't like this didn't really get me excited for what's next with Kanye. Now it could get me excited. Maybe people that is not working with him anymore, maybe they feel like they should work with him again. I'm kind of thinking about that. Like, damn, maybe Pusha T might come out of nowhere. Maybe he might reach out to Pusha T. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I'm thinking about the possibilities of Kanye maybe feeling a little better now. Maybe he gonna reach out to his old friends. I know it ain't gonna happen with Jay-Z, but I'm thinking maybe he can reach out to some of the old writers and all that stuff, and then it could get back to that. But just listening to this album, I didn't feel anything, man.
All right, the hogs, the pigs. Damn, we in a pig pen now, Kanye.
The hogs, the pigs,
rolling around in slop. I'll have to go qualified, man. I think all your criticisms are valid and true, but when I listened to the album, I enjoyed it. I can't act like I didn't. And even though I can't stand what Kanye the person had become in the past few years, he got very annoying very quickly. When I listened to the music, I enjoyed it. I didn't have a frowny face. I wasn't like skip. No, I played it all the way through, and with a couple exceptions, I liked pretty much every song. So I gotta say, qualified, man. I don't think it's gonna go in his top 5 albums, even. Just because his catalog is so insane. But I do think it's better than Jesus King, better than both Vultures, better than Yay. So it's at least better than those to me. And I think it's a very middle tier Kanye album, but still I liked it, man. I don't know. What can I say?
I like how you named those albums. I'm like, man, that's not saying much, man.
Because those were the worst of Kanye.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. This is definitely not his worst album.
Those were the true, to me, those were the true Pigpen albums. That's what I'm saying. Those were Pigpen.
No, I got
compared to that, this isn't Pigpen. Because we don't do like the 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. It's classic or trash on this podcast.
Yeah. And
those are Pigpen to me.
Exactly. And see, that's why I picked Pigpen, because this damn sure ain't no classic in my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the worst album, but I could give it qualified, man. Qualified is like, hey, you guys got to check this album out. I think if this album was really good, I probably would have shot you a text like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to talk about this album. I probably would have went track for track.
It's almost impossible with this because so many tracks and they're so short.
Yeah.
But I get you. But I like the album, man. I can't front on this podcast like I wasn't nodding my head several times. So fuck it. I gotta be true to myself and admit that I liked it. So
yeah.
Other music came out. I don't know if you bumped this or knew it came out, but Mike and Earl Sweatshirt dropped a collab album. Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. They dropped a collab album produced by a group called Surf Gang. They've done songs with Mike and other artists kind of in the underground area. So they kind of speaker box Love Belowed it. Okay. They had Mike did one part and Earl Sweatshirt did another part, half of the album. And they mixed on some songs. They did a couple collabs together, but for the most part, it's a Mike album, then it's the Earl Sweatshirt album. I bumped this all the way through. I liked it a lot. Now, I know Surf Gang is kind of a polarizing group. Some people don't like their beats. Some people only want Mike and Earl rapping over soul samples and shit, and this is not that. You know, it kind of, a lot of their music or their beats kind of sound like shit you would hear in The Legend of Zelda or something, like kind of video game dark beats. Like, you know, Legend of Zelda, you go into a cave and you got some shit that's kind of dark sounding, but it kind of sounds good, got a little rhythm to it.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of their beats sound like. Some fucking Legend of Zelda N64 ass music. But I like their production, man. I like their beats. It's something different. I like the Mike part a lot more than the Earl Sweatshirt part, I have to say. I like that part a lot more.
Is that shocking? Is that a little bit surprising?
For some people, I was surprised that they were kind of dick riding the Earl Sweatshirt part, because to me, even though I started off an Earl Sweatshirt fan, this new style he got, this fucking lazy ass rapping that he does on a lot of songs, this narcolepsy almost, like he just woke up and walked to the studio and just, while he was half asleep, spit a verse. Yeah. It's starting to get annoying to me now, man. I liked it at first, but it's starting to get annoying, especially when you see him live and he has so much more energy when he raps. He's actually energetic and you can actually hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
But then you hear to the studio version, it's like mumble jumble. I don't like saying mumble rap, but this really is fucking some mumble rap, dog.
It is.
I don't know what the fuck he's saying. So, I wasn't, I'm kind of surprised, but not really, because Mike has always been, in his style, he's way more energetic than what Earl is right now. His beats, his music actually got some, funk to it, some rhythm to it. His flows are crazy. And I think in that area, he's kind of surpassed Earl Sweatshirt. Earl Sweatshirt is still hella lyrical. He's crazy lyrical. But I think Mike has kind of surpassed him in just the flows and the just shit you nod your head to, man, like that hippity hop shit. Earl don't make that music no more, really. So, yeah, but I liked it a lot. I think people should give it a listen if you're interested in, something different from what you hear in the mainstream type shit. You might like it, you might not. But I enjoyed it a lot. I think at least the first half was really good to me. I like their collab songs, and I think it's worth a listen. So if y'all like that kind of underground lyrical miracle type music, check it out. It's Earl Sweatshirt and Mike Pompeii/Utility on all streaming platforms right now.
Okay. You kind of gave me an idea, man. You brought up the like some of the beats sound like a like Legend of Zelda type stuff. We should come up with a top 10, maybe a top 15. I don't, depending on how much we know of video game beats. like like instrumental beats from video games that sound hard.
Oh man, I play a lot of games, so I got a lot. You know, I could probably do like a top 50 off the top of my head. So
Hey, no, we should put something together because I was just listening. I don't know if you played the game Double Dribble or it was on.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it was on. Well, I had it on Genesis. I know it started off on Nintendo, but I had it on Genesis. I think it was the second version of it, not the original one. But some of the beats on there was hard, man. I was just randomly listening to it on YouTube. I'm like, let me see if I can find this beat. But some of that shit, I don't know what they was doing, but some of them beats was hard as hell, man.
Hey, have you ever heard the GoldenEye pause music from the
I think
N64
so, yeah.
game? Play that song. I think we can play it on YouTube. Look that up and play it, man. That shit goes crazy. And this was made back in what, 97?
Yeah.
For a GoldenEye game, a shooting game. And it was a pause menu too. It wasn't like an actual level too. So look that up, man.
Yeah, let me see if I hold on. But
what's
man,
up, David? See you, David, in the YouTube comment said my Stankonia shirt's hard. Hell yeah, man. I'm representing the ATL today. Listen to this shit, man.
Yeah. I remember this.
You gotta wait for it. Dog, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
Super hard. Like, you really could rap over this type of shit, man. And they've done a whole lot of blends and mixes with actual songs. I think somebody put Project Pat over this beat and it sounded super clean.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's so funny too because even the music from Streets of Rage I was listening to.
Oh hell yeah, that's one of the best soundtracks of all time. Streets of Rage. That's Yuzo Koshiro, I think his name is. I even know his fucking name, man. That dude's a legend in video games.
I'm like, man, them beats used to be hard though, man. Like I don't know if video games still had that type of feel for it, but we should really put together like a top 30, top 50, just random beats from video games on there.
Oh hell yeah, I could do that.
See, this is shit I was with.
Dog, you have to think like how many people would they this shit went hard for no reason.
Yeah.
Double dribble. This is an unlicensed basketball game. It wasn't like NBA Live 95.
Yeah.
That's
like
crazy.
that shit was going hard, man. I'm like, and I'm randomly like, man, let me try to find that beat. Yeah, that shit was hard, man.
Dog, I used to get pissed because people would talk about, back when the Super Nintendo and Genesis war happened, people would say, well, the Genesis has shitty sound, the music don't sound good. I'm like, dog, Genesis has some slaps on that shit.
Dude, yeah, like even some of the Sonic games.
Yeah.
Some of those Sonic games is going hard, man.
All of them. Michael Jackson actually made some music for Sonic 3.
Really? Oh, I did.
Yeah, there's a big story about that. It was a documentary made in a little mini YouTube documentary. But Michael Jackson actually made music for Sonic 3, but he didn't like how it sounded, so he didn't want to be in the production credits. But you could hear like the instrumentals sound exactly the same as some music he released after the game came out. So yeah. He 100% was making music for that game. So yeah, dog, game. I don't know what happened to game music, but they just don't do it like this anymore.
No,
Even though it's easier than ever to make music than it's ever been, for whatever reason, game music just don't hit the same. They don't even try. Resident Evil don't even put real music in their games anymore. They used to have good music in their shit, A lot of games don't even bother to put, real music in. It's just ambiance and just some regular sounding shit. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I don't know either. You would have thought back in the day that music was harder to make or took way more to make. But this shit was some of this music was fire. Where like even some of the Zelda music, like, some of that shit be fire, man.
Zelda, Final Fantasy, they used to have a lot of good. They used to sell the soundtracks, and the soundtracks would sell like albums. I remember the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack was like 5 discs long. I'm like, how the fuck they fit this much music onto a PlayStation game, man?
Yeah,
but, that shit went crazy.
Yeah, let me write that down. We're gonna have to come up with a list.
yeah. Shit, I'm gonna fill that up real quick, man. I got a whole lot of songs I love from back in the day. David said could absolutely freestyle over this. The chopped and screwed version would go off. Yeah. I like the slow version of that, and they've done a whole lot of blends with that GoldenEye music.
Yeah.
And he also says Sonic Pinball had a hard beat stage on stage 2, I think the underground one. I don't know. Funny story about Sonic Pinball. I rented this game from Blockbuster when I was a kid, and it was like the most disappointed I had ever been renting a video game at that point. Because, back in the day, you rented a game and that was your whole fucking weekend. All right. So if you didn't like the game, you were stuck with it. You had nothing else to play, really. So I rented Sonic Pinball because I love Sonic. I didn't know what the fuck a Sonic Pinball was. I didn't have any game reviews to go off of. I just looked at the back of the box and said, okay, it's some weird pinball shit. Dog, it is just a fucking pinball game. And I couldn't get past the first level.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm doing the pinball shit. I'm putting Sonic through all this shit, and I can't beat the level. I'm like, what? How do you play this game?
Yeah.
So I played it for like a couple hours and turned it off, and I couldn't even play it again. I'm like, fuck this game, man. My weekend is ruined. I should have just rented Street Fighter 2 again or some shit. I don't know. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. That's the worst, man. Like there was no looking on YouTube to see what this game was or that game was. Like once you rent a game, man, you stuck with it. And it wasn't like, let me take this back and get another one. Nah, you get one game, man.
Yep. That was it. You didn't like it? Oh, well. And it's funny because as kids, you always want to rent the game based off a movie.
Yeah.
And those are usually the worst games.
Yeah. Aladdin or Lion King.
Yeah. Well, those games were good. But sometimes they put like, what was it? Like Hook had a game. They had certain movies like Predator, RoboCop games were shitty. But they were based on movies that were good. So you would think, hey, I like this movie. I want to play this game. And the game sucked. I'm like, dog. They used to do that all the time because it was an easy sell to make a movie-based game. So they just put any shit and put a movie paint on it and say, hey, it's a Superman. I'm like, wait, this game is sorry, man. So,
yeah. But yeah, no, it was some of these soundtracks or instrumentals in these games was fire, man.
That sounds like Sonic 2. I know my Sonic games, man.
I was looking for this one beat. I forgot what level it was. What level was this? I can't remember.
We're looking for it. Oh yeah, Chemical Plant. Yeah.
Yeah. This one.
Amazing. I'm tearing up, man, thinking about the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs too. Sonic 2 is just a great game. What a great game, man.
Yeah, it was.
One of my favorites. And the soundtrack is super hard on that too. I used to go, they had a sound test in that game in the options menu, and I would just go and just play songs and just listen to it like it's an iPad or something, or iPod. I would just listen to the game music sometimes. When I got bored of playing the game, I just turned on the sound test and play the music.
Yeah.
Matt said, man, movie tie-in games were the worst. X-Men Origins Wolverine may be the only game that was better than the movie. Yeah, that game was surprisingly good. And it was crazy because the movie was horrible. But apparently that game was supposed to be something else, like a standalone Wolverine game. And I think at the last minute they said, let's make it a movie tie-in type shit. But that game is actually very good, an underrated classic. Very good game.
Okay.
Terrible movie. So if you ever see that on TV, don't watch it. But yeah, for the most part, those movie tie-in games were pretty shitty. And they used to make it for every movie. I'm like, all right, man. So the good old days. The good old days. Other things, topics time now, man. A lot of stuff happened. We got to break down this podcast. We'll get to probably the biggest news in hip-hop right now is, of course, Pooh Shiesty, the Memphis-based rapper who had been signed to Gucci Mane and just got out of prison for I forgot what he even was in for, but he had just got out of prison. I think he's on house arrest or something, technically, some probation, I don't know. And he was very upset about his record deal with Gucci, apparently so much upset that he decided to travel by Greyhound bus with his dad and a few other people, associates, and hold him up at gunpoint and force him to sign a contract release. And he also stole jewelry from Gucci and his other associates. A lot of it was caught on camera. And let me actually read the synopsis of what happened. I think this actually came out today. So here's a quote. Well, when Gucci Mane and his team arrived at the studio, Pooh Shiesty asked to speak with Gucci privately in a separate recording room. Pooh then produced a contract release form and demanded that Gucci sign it. When Guwop refused, an argument ensued. Pooh then told Big 30 to grab a bag, from which Pooh retrieved an AK-style rifle and pointed it at Gucci, prompting Gucci to comply. One of Pooh's co-conspirators pulled out a cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the release form at gunpoint while being forced to say he, quote, released Pooh from his contract. Afterward, Pooh robbed Gucci Mane of his wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash. Members of Gucci's crew were blocked from leaving the studio they were in and robbed of their valuables, which included a 1017 necklace. A man identified as MM was choked to the point of nearly losing consciousness during the robbery. At one point, Gucci Mane was pushed to a couch, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Pooh pointed the barrel of the gun at the back of a man identified as BP's head and ordered Gucci and a crew to leave. Gucci and other victims identified Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 to the authorities, with Pooh being described as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask during a robbery. And Pooh Shiesty and his co-defendants are facing up to life in prison if found guilty. So yeah, Big 30 is actually Pooh Shiesty's father, by the way. So yeah, his dad hit this lick with him. I don't know how this happened. We thought T. Morant was a bad dad, a very immature dad. I think he might be beat now. So yeah, a few storylines going on here. Number one, the fact that it is a very easy open and shut case. Apparently, the Department of Justice had a whole press conference about it. And so, yeah, Pooh Shiesty is going away for a long time when this wraps up. And also, of course, we go back to the street code here, snitching, because they did make it very clear that Gucci Mane identified Pooh Shiesty as the person that did all this to them. So there's paperwork saying this now. So there's the age-old debate of, is this snitching or should street codes still exist? All that going on. So let me get your take on this first. Break this down for us. What do you think? Why do you think this happened? and what do you think of the so-called snitching that Gucci Mane apparently did in this case? But you're muted. You're muted.
Man, my fault. I keep forgetting to hit this button. But yeah,
You muted, we heard your cough and you muted the actual what you
yeah,
were gonna say.
yeah. So yeah, man. I'm not sure. Look, I'm guessing Pooh Shiesty was probably in a bad record deal. Just that's kind of guessing because it's Gucci Mane. But I thought they were cool, man, because it seemed like Gucci was super excited about him being out of jail. And the only weird part was you didn't really see them with each other. So I'm thinking maybe it was the house arrest thing and all that. But I think we heard about this story. I want to say it wasn't that long ago. It had to be maybe a month ago or something like that. And I remember this story being all kind of, it was being reported, but it was from some unreliable blogs and Twitter accounts where it was just like Gucci Mane was robbed by Pooh Shiesty. And I'm just like, is this real? I kept seeing it from accounts that wasn't really nothing. It wasn't no TMZ. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just some bootleg accounts. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of weird. Like, and I thought somebody just said, no, that wasn't real. But now it's coming out. I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense now. I don't know why he would do it like this. Like, I'm no criminal expert or anything. But if I wanted to get out of the contract, man, I would probably go a different way. And that's not including myself, like being part of the crime. Like, if anything, I'll try to have my dad do it and maybe some other dudes do it and just keep me out of it because I'm on house arrest and probation and all this other stuff. I don't want to get caught up in it. But yeah, it just seemed like this seems so stupid on his part, man. Like, dog, you just got out of jail. And this is all contract related. And I was seeing a couple other details too, saying how they pretty much like they robbed Gucci and them so good they unscrewed the earrings off his ear. Like, you getting robbed when they unscrew the earrings out of your ears, man. Like, that's a hell of a robbery. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was, I don't know. It's a wild story, man. And plus, the whole snitching thing, Gucci did get on Instagram Live and said he ain't talking to no police, and he pretty much tried to say that wasn't true. But shit, if the paperwork there, man, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I ain't sitting there saying, look, I ain't the snitch police either. I ain't somebody to say, oh, this is snitching. That ain't snitching. But if you knew who did it and you pretty much said this, if you identify this person, I feel like that's kind of, I guess you kind of cooperating a little bit. And quite frankly, I don't blame him for that. I don't blame him. I think his light probably flashed between his eyes. And yeah, I'm just kind of curious how people gonna look at Gucci Mane going forward, because people looked at him as a real nigga. And if he got the snitch allegations on him, like, I'm just kind of curious how people gonna go forward, because he got a lot of good music, man. That's a lot of good music for me to not to not listen to him because he snitched. So I am kind of curious how the public gonna move towards Gucci Mane moving forward.
Yeah, like you said, there's not a whole lot to say about the Pooh Shiesty thing. It was such a stupid thing to do. Like, best case scenario, his plan still wouldn't have worked. What do you mean you recorded yourself holding a man at gunpoint and signing a contract? You know that shit's not legal, right? Nobody's gonna be like, okay, you signed it. Like, they gonna see the gun pointing at his head and be like, okay, this is not legal. You cannot sign a contract under duress, under law. Like, that will not fly anywhere. And then I think, doesn't Gucci Mane have a label above him? So what, you gonna go to Atlantic, whoever the fuck Gucci signed to, and get the release from them too?
And see this, and this was the thing too, because I think, and maybe this could be rumors or whatever, but heard that Gucci mentioned like, hey, you still got to talk to the lawyers, even if I sign this.
Yeah.
And they was just like, hey, shut the, kind of pull the shut the fuck up, bitch ass, So like that wasn't gonna work, man. Like if that was the case, man, it'd be a lot of people doing this to get out of contracts. Like I'm sure the Locks, I'm sure, Mace, I'm sure all of those type of people that stuck in contracts would have just went up to Diddy and pointed the gun up to his head and said, sign the papers. Like I just don't think it worked like that.
I think Mace actually did run up on Diddy. Wasn't that a thing back in the day? But he didn't run up with a gun, obviously. But he did see him, I think, at Hot 97 or something, and ran up.
I think he called him at contract. He called him at a radio station.
Yeah,
on an interview, and pretty much said, "Hey, I mean, he ain't pulling Pooh Shiesty."
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But shit, and that was years after, man.
Mm-hmm.
This was years. This was after Pastor Mace. This was years after, man, and it took him to do that. So
yeah,
I don't think it's that easy, man.
Yeah. So I don't understand what, like, again, they took a Greyhound to go visit Gucci. I think you would think in that time, whatever they were smoking would have worn off. They'd be like, wait a minute, this shit's not going to work, dog. Like, there's no way this is going to work. But they still went through with it for some reason. His father was involved too, which is super crazy. And now they're gone for a long time. So I really don't understand. Like, I know street niggas dumb as hell in general, but this is the next level shit for somebody who actually has money and a career.
Yeah.
Just throw it all away for no reason. So I don't understand it, but whatever. I wasn't a huge fan of his music. I heard some songs. I like some songs he had, but fucking good riddance, man. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't be out here with regular people if this is your mind state. So yeah, go ahead and sit in that cell for a while, dog. As far as the Gucci Mane shit, okay, let's be 100% real. According to the so-called street code, yes, Gucci did snitch. It's not even a question. According to the street rules, if you're in the street or identify yourself as a street nigga, any cooperation with law enforcement is snitching. So Gucci identified, and they said this in their press conference and doubled down on it, that Gucci Mane identified the man in the mask as Pooh Shiesty. That means he talked to them. That means he cooperated. That means he's a snitch.
He pointed the finger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can say what you want, and now I don't give a fuck, because what's Gucci supposed to do? Old as he is now, is clean and sober. He's not Gucci of 20 years ago anymore. Obviously, he's been in prison for a long time. He's changed his life. He don't hang around that type of shit no more. We've made a joke about how he's cloned because he's so different from the street Gucci we used to know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not mad at him. I understand, but I do think it's funny how like you said, I'm interested to see what the public perception is going to be now, because if you consider what Gunna did to be snitching, this is super snitching. So are we just going to finally throw away the stupid street code and rap and admit that none of these dudes are really street niggas like that anymore and just move on? Like the whole discussion we had last podcast about, are you really a rapper? Or are you just portraying one on the records and you're somebody else in your real life? And if you are, be that person in your real life. Don't act like you're the rap super thug rapper outside of rap.
Yeah.
So are we finally going to drop the mask and admit that this is all fucking cosplay and it's not real? Or are we just going to keep this facade up that niggas with $1 million mansions are still running the streets and still got credibility in the hood? Come on. Like, when's it going to end? Is this finally the end? I don't know, man.
Nah, it ain't going in, man. It ain't going in, because for all the people that's cosplaying, you do got some Pooh Shiesties out there, man. That's just, I'm not saying that's smart, but just in my opinion, just kind of being silly, just doing that type of stuff. So, but I'm really curious how people gonna look at Gucci because they were looking at him as like the kind of the big bro that he older now, so he's kind of like up here a little bit, the OG. That's the word I was looking for. He kind of look at him as the OG now, and he pointed out somebody that everybody wanted out of jail for a long time, man. Pooh Shiesty, and he didn't even get going, man. What did he release? One song, like first day out song. That was it.
He was right back in.
Yeah. So I do wonder what the young thugs, what the people like that, the future, are they just going to just still rock with Gucci? Or they gonna pick a side, or are they just gonna act like that ain't none of my business? I'm cool with everybody. They gonna take that approach because it seems like a lot of dudes rock with Pooh Shiesty. I know the other thing. I know he ain't from Atlanta. I know he more Memphis, but it seems like a lot of people rock with Pooh. So I'm just kind of curious, how they gonna do with this.
I think they have to sweep it under the rug because the only other option is to continue the downfall of Atlanta, because the top Atlanta rappers, or at least the legends and some of the top rappers now, all got allegations of snitching on them. Gunna, Young Thug, and now Gucci Mane. So does nobody work with these niggas anymore? Or do we just kind of move on and admit, okay, this shit was stupid. Let's unite Atlanta. And what was 21 trying to say? 21 tried to do it with the fuck the streets thing. Yeah, he tried to do it. That was like the soft launch of the let's leave the street code out of rap. If somebody snitches, okay. don't cancel them for snitching. That's what they're trying to do, but it's not gonna work if you like with the cosplay type shit. If you still act like you're this hard dude outside of rap, it's not gonna work. So that's the issue that they got to face. Like, are they, what are you going to stick by what you've been saying and say, fuck rats and snitches and cancel Gucci too? Now, who's the biggest rapper in Atlanta now? That people actually fuck with. The whole city going to fall apart rap wise. If everybody who snitched got to get canceled. So I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, it's wild, man. I ain't gonna lie. I know. I ain't really look at anybody as being Superman, like invincible or whatever. But it was kind of shocking to me just seeing that still shot of Gucci Mane pretty much getting robbed with Pooh Shiesty right there. That, like, if Pooh Shiesty, that could be an album cover, man, or some type of diss track or some type of artwork for a diss track to Gucci. Because it's like, damn, man, they really got Gucci out here.
Yep.
And this is somebody that been through it all, that killed somebody for one of Jeezy dudes for trying to kill him and all that shit. And it's just like, damn, man. I know he older. He probably like 50 years old now, but it's just like, damn.
But here's the thing, like, anybody can get got. What was Gucci supposed to do? Like, jump with two guns and shoot like an action movie or something?
That's what I'm saying.
What was he supposed to do? Anybody can get got.
Like, I wasn't looking at. I don't look at anybody as Superman, but just knowing just the story of Gucci and just how much shit he be talking, it's just like, damn. You not only did you get robbed or kidnapped, but you snitched. So it's just like, damn, man, they got Gucci, man. Not all people, you expect that from a younger cat, or but it's just like, damn, this is Gucci, man. So, like, I get it, but it's just kind of funny how this all turned around to this.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that Superman status for Gucci Mane was undeserved. Yeah, he killed one guy who rolled up on him, but I'm sure Gucci been run up on before, and we just never heard of it. Like, it was probably just some shit that didn't make the news or was before he got really big. But anybody can get got in the streets, especially if you roll like he rolled. I'm sure. I don't know if he got robbed, but I'm sure people ran up on him at some point in Atlanta. I don't think he was super nigga. I think that's what fans they heard he got a body on him, and they kind of made this whole myth about, oh, Gucci Mane was a real killer, And it's like, yeah, he killed a guy in self-defense. It's not like it was, some action John Wick type shit he was doing. So, but I get it. I think, we grew up thinking having this whole image of Gucci Mane, and then now you see him old, get robbed. It's like,
that's kind of, to me, that would be, I ain't comparing the two, but that would be like if Jay-Z get caught slipping and he told on who did it. It's just like, oh, come on. And I know Jay-Z ain't that type of rapper anyway. He don't be bragging about not snitching and stuff like that. So that's probably a bad example. But it's just like, oh man, like all the shit you was preaching in your songs, man. And so that's, like I said, ain't nobody invincible. But I was just like, damn, man, I expect this from like a gunner or somebody, a younger rapper or something like that. Damn, you still like you this old and you getting robbed and kidnapped. So like, and I get it. I'm not even mad at him. I'm not even criticizing him. Like, dog, he's married, he got kids and all that shit. Like, I'm sure he wasn't trying to go through all of that. And I'm sure he probably left that shit behind him, but damn, it's just like, damn, somebody got Gucci.
Yeah, here's the thing. He should have went the Bun B route fully. He should have went the I'm no longer that dude anymore. Let me go ahead and because he was doing shit with the Gucci brand and he was modeling and stuff, and he had gone so far beyond old Gucci, like he don't look the same anymore. So I think he should have just accepted the fact that he's removed, but he wanted it both ways. He wanted to be seen and talked about like the old Gucci while doing current Bun B type shit. And that's what killed him. Like the whole cosplay thing of trying to act like you still are who you were, still talking tough on records, still saying this hood crazy shit. And that's what makes people disillusioned. If he had just fully divorced himself, like if Bun B got robbed, even though Bun B actually, got the guy who robbed him. But if Bun B got robbed and told, be like, okay, it's Bun B. People try to call him a snitch for being in court, but it's Bun B, man. He don't live in Port Arthur no more.
Somebody broke in his house, tried to kill him pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. So and he actually spared the dude life.
Mm-hmm. He could have killed him.
Yeah, he spared the dude life. So like, I'm not mad at that at all. But I think what you saying, I think he probably should have just stepped away from music.
Yeah.
I think because he been doing this for years, going around as a music exec. He had the 1017 Brit Squad. He had So Icy, and it was stories going around about how all the people on this label always ended up dead or in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that point, I would have just, once I cleaned myself up, I would have just been like, you know what, I'm gonna leave the music alone. I could still maybe make some music, but I'm not signing any artists. I don't want no record label. I'm, like you said, the Bun B route. Let me try to invest in a restaurant. Let me do this little vegan thing with my wife. Maybe open up a Gucci Mane vegan restaurant or something. I would probably steer more towards that rather than still trying to sign these street niggas, man. Like that shit. That's that shit. I mean, you get to a certain age, man. You can't do all that shit, man. It's too risky.
Yeah, and again, he refused to release Pooh Shiesty. He even made videos about it. How he said all his artists lost him money, and he's letting everybody go but Pooh Shiesty. He's never letting them go, and I think I don't want to say it's exploitation because look, you sign somebody to a contract, you got to honor it, but at the same time, somebody's way bigger than you right now. They're making a lot of money, and you got them signed to a slave deal because they probably signed it when they were broke and had no money. Yeah. Like, you think the right thing to do would just be let them out, especially when this is a street nigga who might do something crazy. Yeah. But he refused, and look, if he's still gonna make money off it, so I can't be too mad because now the music's gonna go up, and he's still got the rights to it. So
yeah,
it's a dirty business, but if Gucci was a stand-up dude, you'd think he would just do the right thing there and release him. But maybe Pooh Shiesty don't deserve it. He seemed like a crazy guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he need to be in jail.
Yeah, some people got to be in jail, man. That's just how it is. Other things that happened this week. You see that Tiger Woods body cam footage, man?
Yes.
So Tiger Woods was involved in another DUI incident, allegedly. I don't know if it's proven that he was under the influence of anything, but he looked kind of tweaked out in some of the stuff I saw. And he flipped his SUV again, and he admitted himself into rehab, and he seemed to be uninjured. He's going to be fine, but yes, another incident where he crashed his whip on some kind of shit. He refused a urinalysis, which got him arrested because apparently that's illegal in Florida. You can't refuse it. But he passed the breathalyzer, so he wasn't drunk at least. So not really much to say except the body cam footage was very funny. At one point, he called Trump on his cell phone, and the cop asked, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He was like, "Oh no, I'm just calling the president."
Yeah,
shot that shit. Tiger's so corny, man. How did black people ever claim Tiger Woods? Just because he's brownish?
That's the only reason why.
Funniest dudes to ever live, man.
Dude, what did Tiger? Listen, what did Tiger Woods ever do that was like, oh yeah, he one of us?
Nothing ever. Like, this dude is probably whiter than Phil Mickelson. Let's be real. Like, what did the black community see in Tiger besides, okay, he's brown, so he's one of us? I don't think he even liked rap. Right? I never heard him do or say anything that made you look like, that made us think that, he was down at all. So I really don't understand. In retrospect, it's very funny how, at least with Serena, okay, she came from Compton. She had that side to her, and you could see it come out. Tiger, we never saw anything like that with him. His dad was different. His dad was like a real dude. But Tiger, nah, I'd never seen it with him in his whole career. So looking back, it's very funny that we saw him as...
It kind of show you too the Dave Chappelle skit was right on the money, man.
Yes.
It was right on the money.
Yes, it's very funny. I get the novelty of having somebody who's not white winning in golf and being so dominant, but yeah, Tiger has been a super corny dude his entire life, man. So it really is funny to see how we backed him so hard and thought he was so great. I mean, he was a great golfer, but no, he wasn't. No, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to say he's not black, but you know what I'm trying to say. Man.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. For the simple fact, this dude said, sorry, I was talking to the president. I'm like, what? That would have been an eye roll for me if he said that. Sorry, I was talking to the president. Like, oh, get out of here, man.
And I don't know what's funnier, the fact that he called Trump after a DUI or the fact that Trump actually picked up the phone. Like, don't you got more important shit to do?
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the middle of a fucking war, dog. You answer a call from Tiger Woods at 2:30 or whatever the fuck time it was.
Yeah. That's crazy. It show you too the type of person Tiger is, man. Like I even think about the time. Remember, he got caught cheating and he left a voice message. Hey, it's Tiger. My wife got my phone, so don't call his phone. And like, why would you leave a voicemail, man? Like that's probably the dumbest thing any nigga could do. This motherfucker called and said, "Hey, it's Tiger." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
His texts that got leaked were hilarious too. Some of the most autistic shit you'll ever see somebody put in writing. And yeah, I don't know how. I guess he's just, when you're really good at one thing that makes you money, you could be whatever. You don't have to have an ounce of swag in you and you'll be beloved, man. That's all that matters. You got to be just good at one thing that makes a lot of money. So, but yeah, too funny. Oh yeah, David said about the Pooh Shiesty thing. Somebody said this was the plot of the movie Airheads. I never seen that movie. I think I saw Coneheads, that stupid ass movie with Dan Aykroyd. But I think Dan Aykroyd was in it. But I haven't seen Airheads. I heard that was a cult classic, but I haven't seen it. Other things that went on this week. How do you feel about J. Cole coming back to basketball, professional basketball? Technically, he is joining up with the Chinese Basketball Association, with the Nanjing Monkey Kings.
I'm like, man, that's. I hate to be the person to say read the room. I'm like, man, so you going over to China to play for the Monkey King?
Not to be fair, now because I know a little bit of that Chinese, like historically, the Monkey King is like a symbolic historical figure. I think there's a classic novel called Journey to the West that stars a guy who turned into a monkey or some shit, and is the legendary story. I think Dragon Ball is loosely based off the Monkey King type story.
Yeah.
So it is not like, disrespectful in China. It's actually something of high regard there, but it does look funny. It's almost like some super racist guy named the basketball team.
Yeah.
The Monkey Kings in Memphis or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is pretty funny. But what do you think about J. Cole coming to basketball again at all? Do you think he's going to do better this time?
No, I don't think so, man. I think he just kind of living out his dream, and maybe this could be some maybe a rollout or something, because he did it before. So maybe I think he just kind of living out the dream a little bit. I don't think nothing of it. I think at this point, and maybe that whole battle thing kind of changed my perspective on him, where I'm like, man, maybe this nigga just want to be happy. Like maybe he just living a dream. Maybe he just looking at this as like if we were go over to China just for a vacation or something, or hey, I want to skydive. Hey, I want to do this. Maybe he just want to play basketball for a team over in China, or some type of professional team just to do it. So I think maybe that's kind of his thing. So I didn't really look at nothing like that before. It probably would have been an eye roll, but I think I just got a new way of looking at J. Cole, where I'm just like, all right, he's just doing this. I really don't care as much. He maybe he just living out a dream or something. So that's how I kind of looked at it.
I'm just a little confused by exactly what he's doing, because I get the first time he had hoop dreams when he was a kid and he had a chance to do it again in Africa, wherever the fuck he played. But now it's getting kind of weird because, number one, okay, you drop the album, then you go like on a podcast tour, then you go on a road trip in your old 94 Corolla or whatever the fuck it was, selling albums out your trunk. Now you're going to play basketball in China. And my first thought, number one, J. Cole is 41. I think he's married with 2 kids. Why aren't you at home? Like, what the fuck is going on? Is there something at home that you don't want to be around for? Is that shit kind of crumbling and now you want to be in China? Like, you're 41 years old and just released the album. You're not on tour, so you're not making money with music right now as far as touring and doing all that shit. But you're going to play basketball in China. I'm just confused what he's doing, man. I'll power to him if this is what he wants to do, but he's a married man and in his 40s now. So I don't understand the mentality of what he's doing. I don't really understand it, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm jealous. I don't know. Yeah, I want to play basketball in China.
It's funny looking at his I guess kind of looking at his bio, where I'm just like, damn, like he got a lot going on. I know you was kind of mentioning like it seemed like he doing a lot. His whole bio is just a lot going on. Like I forgot he was a military baby. So he was born in Germany, raised in North Carolina. I think his mom is white. I want to say, right?
Probably.
I think he's mixed. I think his mom is white. But I'm like, he got a BA at St. John's. I'm like, I feel like he all over the place, man. I don't know. Maybe that's just him. Maybe he's just like a spur of the moment guy where you just say, hey, I want to do music. I also want to live my dream playing basketball. And I'm gonna stop dressing up and wear designer stuff. I'm gonna wear dirty sneakers. I'm gonna ride around in 1994 or whatever, and I'm gonna sell mixtapes like I did back in the day. It seemed like he seemed like he a spur of the moment guy. But the more I think about it now,
yeah, or some kind of hippie type dude, just lives by the moment. Don't really think about shit in the long term. So. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to him. Good for him is what he wants to do. But to me, my first thought was it seems like he's running away from something. If he wants to go now at 41 years old, he wants to play basketball in China for the Monkey Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand the mentality, but whatever, man. More power to you.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about Chili. Chili from TLC. Made a video explaining, I think we talked about the last podcast, but she was criticized for reposting a meme of or a post of somebody claiming that Michelle Obama is a man. Also, people have noted that she has donated to Republicans like Donald Trump and Ted Cruz about 17 times now, they counted, to their campaigns directly.
Yeah.
And people were saying, okay, Chili's MAGA. Here's a proof. So I guess somebody gave her a call because she finally addressed this after somebody put all this stuff together and said, okay, Chili is MAGA. She got on Instagram, I think it was, and made a video trying to explain away what happened. She said that, to sum it up, basically she said that she accidentally shared the Michelle Obama post. She brought up the fact that she supported the Obamas and voted for them twice. She brought up the fact that apparently the contributions were supposed to be for veterans, which was really where she tripped herself up. She shouldn't even mention the contributions, really, because that's really stupid.
Yeah.
But so she tried to say that it was for the veterans, and she supports veterans always, and veteran is veteran that. But she supports love and would never bring anybody down, and this and that. And basically, somebody gave her a call because I think they're still on tour with TLC, and somebody gave her a call and she just tried to explain it. But Figgy, are you buying Chili's explanation? And do you think she deserves a second chance?
I think so. I'm not buying it at all. Look, man, it is what it is. I think that's what it is. I think she gave a bunch of clues on where she stand, what aisle of the what aisle she stand in. And look, I'm not really mad at it. I was never invested in Chili like that to begin with. Like, she looked cute. She was a cute one in TLC, but I don't think I was ever invested in Chili's personal life like that. And I think I can't remember, she married a white man or something like that.
Yeah, Matthew Lawrence, Joy Lawrence's brother, who apparently is also alt-right. So yeah,
it's like that stuff don't even surprise me. To me, I felt like she sounded even more like a right winger, trying to explain what she was doing. Like, she doing this for the veterans. I'm like, that's right up that's what that one thing a right winger would say. And I'm sure everybody roll with the veterans and stuff, but just the way she's trying to roll this out and try to cover herself, it's not making it even better, man. She was better off not saying anything. and now she gonna be looking like Stacey Dash. So I do think it's a little bit shocking that I would have never guessed Chili would be on this side of the aisle. Like I don't know, just you never know, but I would have, I didn't think she was going this hard like this. And I think they even dug up all the posts she was liking. She was liking a whole bunch of posts that was, Republican type posts. And I was just like, damn, like after a while, like seeing all of this stuff, it makes sense. I'm like, okay, you are, that's who you roll with. So I don't know. I just think it's funny. She tried to clean it all up. And at this point, you better off not saying anything, man, because there's a lot of artists out here. She ain't the first one or the only one. But it was just kind of funny the excuse she made on how she shared that post about Michelle Obama. And she was talking about she made a mistake and she thought she was doing this, but didn't mean to repost it and something like this. I'm like, what are you doing right now? And so that don't even I don't know. It just, I feel like she's making it even worse now, trying to clean it up. And at this point, you might as well just don't say nothing. Just keep on with your tour and just fuck it, man, because you ain't been saying nothing all this time. So it ain't gonna make it better. It's gonna make it worse the more she keep trying to explain.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think honestly, I thought it was very cowardly for her to act like this shit was all fake and made up. That we have the proof, we have the paperwork, we know. Just come out and be who you are. All right, I'm not saying you got to go full MAGA grift. And look, this is why a lot of artists and celebrities in general just don't talk about this shit. Because if you're on the side that no matter what you say, it's going to cost you money. If you're too pro anything, if you're far left wing, they're going to criticize you. If you're far right wing, they're going to criticize. Either way, as an entertainer, you stand to lose money. So just don't say anything. This whole idea of that celebrities are supposed to be leaders is stupid in the first place, because most of them don't know anything about anything besides acting or singing or dancing. So who gives a fuck what they think politically? Just don't rub it in our face, and then when you get caught, try to backtrack and say, nah, this is not what, like, we know what it is. Just say, hey, I have my own beliefs. You can even say that you didn't mean to repost that, but you could also just be honest and say, hey, I have my own beliefs. They may be controversial, but they're my own, and I respect everybody.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. Yeah. Don't try to crawl back into entertainment business, which is mostly left-wing people and left-wing fans, and try to act like this is all a misunderstanding. No, it's not. You know what you are. Stand on it. Stand 10 toes down and just say, hey, this is what I feel, but I understand it may upset people. I'm sorry if you feel whatever, if this loses me fans, but I have my own beliefs, but I will not speak publicly about it.
Yeah.
I think people will still be pissed, but I think that's more respectable to say. And it's more, because we all have to communicate and talk with people who believe different stuff than us. We still got to live beside them and work with them. So people will understand. But this whole trying to play it both ways that's not going to work. Trying to act like this is not who you are. Just come out that closet. Just don't try to act like you're something you're not, because we can see what you are now. So yeah, it's very cowardly to act like this is not what it is.
Yeah, you're just making it worse.
So are you gonna stop listening to TLC?
Probably not, to be honest. Look, I'm not about to change it if Waterfalls come on or I don't know, whatever song. Like, I ain't about to change it. And see, that's the thing. I was never that, and I guess I realized this. I was never that invested in Chili like that. And I was kind of like that with all of them, to be honest. I was a little more invested in Left Eye a little bit. I guess probably because she passed away and all the what ifs, and just kind of learning more about her. But everybody else, I wasn't really that interested in. Like, not personally, not like I wasn't like, ooh, I want to follow Chili on Instagram because I'm interested in Chili, or even T-Boss. But like, I don't know. It seemed like she was as cute as she was back in the day. I was never that type of person that was like, man, I gotta follow Chili. Like, I guess maybe because she was just always quiet and she wasn't really out there, especially I want to say after the whole Usher breakup. It seemed like she was way more private. So I was never really invested in Chili like that. So it didn't move me any type of way to find out who she was rolling with.
Yeah. And TLC has always been like one of the fakest girl groups ever in terms of how they were put together. It was like a label creation. They just took 3 girls and said, hey, you're a group now. We're going to write all your songs. Babyface and L.A. Reid just done cooked up a whole story with these girls and had to act like they were friends. But I'm sure they had nothing to like with each other. I'm sure they probably never liked each other. And they also famously got screwed by their label and basically got no money out of all the millions of records they sold. They barely got anything from it. Yeah. So, yeah, they were just a girl group when it was popular to make a girl group with a label. And they popped off. They're talented, but they were one of the fakest groups of all time. I feel barely above Milli Vanilli because at least they sang and rapped their own shit. Yeah. But it was written by somebody else, produced by somebody else. He just showed up and did what they were told. So they've always been fake as fuck, but I still like their fucking music, man. I'm not gonna turn off or cancel anybody just because they said some shit I don't like. So. It is what it is. They got some classics I can't turn off, so
Yeah.
Other things going on this week. How do you feel about we'll talk about this first. So LeBron was, I don't know what this was. I just saw a bunch of clips of LeBron riding in a caddy with fucking a bunch of white dudes going golfing, and he just talked about a lot of shit. And one of the things he said was that he does not want to play in Memphis, that Memphis needs to move because there's nothing for him there. They need to move to Nashville, which apparently actually might happen. But let's actually play this clip and see what old Bron is talking about.
Staying at the fucking Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I'm gonna do that shit? Being in Memphis on a fucking random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like, we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the fucking NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Yeah, Predators.
Yeah. Like, they got everything.
Doesn't look like LeBron's going to be on the Grizzlies anytime soon. So Grizzly fans out there.
Yeah, they know. Their only chance was in 2003 if they'd have won the lottery to get me there. And I might have pulled a Eli Manning and not showed up.
So pro Black Twitter is mad about this clip. They're mad about the optics of Bron surrounded by a bunch of white guys, saying that nobody wants to play or live in Memphis. Yeah, people are mad about that. But I think it's something that has been public for a while. Like LeBron said, a lot of players on podcasts and other places have said they hate going to Memphis. They hate the Memphis hotels. They hate the Memphis area. Nobody wants to play there unless they get drafted, unless I guess you really love the culture like John Moran apparently does. But yeah, so what do you think about this? Do you think your boy Bron is Uncle Tom for this shit, or do you think he has a point, Figgy? What are your thoughts?
So originally, when I first saw this, I'm like, why is he going in on Memphis like this? To me, it didn't make any sense. I'm like, what's going on? Until some people dug up other NBA players with a montage of them saying how they hate fucking going to Memphis. to play. And I'm like, damn, is Memphis? I never really thought about Memphis being a bad place, but I started thinking about it more. I'm like, damn, like I know Memphis is a most like a black city in the South, and I did realize, like I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, damn, at that the Memphis Grizzlies is the only professional team there. And I never been. I rode through Memphis. I think I stayed in Memphis one time, just overnight, and then kept it moving. I ain't go there to visit or nothing. But I'm like, damn, maybe like I want like maybe it is that bad, especially from a NBA player point of view. I saw other NBA players mention how some other players was robbed and all this other stuff. Just to me, what came across to me was, I guess, just the city is bad. It's just it's a rough city, like as far as crime, kind of rough, and it seemed like everybody just want to go to Nashville. It seemed like they're really trying to push the Grizzlies to go to Nashville because players just don't want to be in Memphis like that. That's what it kind of came across to me, because I never seen a bunch of players just be so united in hating one city and pushing that same team to move to another city. It seemed like they maybe because I think if you play in the Western Conference, you probably got to go to Memphis twice, maybe 3 times a year. And then on the East Coast, you probably got to go once a year. So maybe they really hate going to Memphis like that, where they just maybe it's a athlete bougie type of problem, where they rather just go to Nashville because it's a lot more popping there than Memphis. And that's what I kind of took from it, because I don't really hear people saying let's go to vacation and go to Memphis or anything like that, but I haven't seen people slandering Memphis this much like that. Like I outside of the typical is rough, and I only know that just off of the rap stuff, just the Young Dolph and Pooh Shiesty, all of that type of stuff. That's where I hear is rough, but you hear that almost anywhere, any urban city. But I think it's just a push from the players. They tired of playing in Memphis, and they want to, they rather visit, I guess, Nashville. That's what I got from this.
Yeah, I think that's a sentiment. The thing is, in my opinion, I don't think LeBron should have said this publicly. I don't think LeBron needed to say this on whatever the fuck this is, a stream or video. I don't know what the fuck it was, the format, but I don't think LeBron of all people needed to say this publicly. Now, in private meetings with the league and whatnot, whatever. But Memphis, I haven't been to Memphis, so I don't know what the fuck goes on there. But despite all that, it does have a fan base. It has people who are not hood niggas who go to fucking Memphis Grizzlies games, support the team, and are fine, upstanding people. I'm sure they have nice areas there too. Maybe not NBA star player nice, but nice for regular people. So, there are good people, I'm sure, living in Memphis that didn't deserve this kind of attack on them, on their city, who love the city. And by basically the face of the league, still LeBron, who, by the way, he's not retired. He's still playing. So he's got to go back to Memphis sometime. So maybe think about that before you say some shit like this. But to me, it just feels like LeBron sometimes just wants to be one of the guys. He's not really conscious of his position in the NBA. He just wants to be seen as one of these new nigga funny type dudes, like an Anthony Edwards type guy. He wants that kind of reaction from people, but you're not that. You're LeBron James. You're the face of the league. You've always been a stand-up guy. Really no controversies, really, in terms of legal issues or anything like that. You're the face of the league, man, still. And for you to shit on a city like that, I think it's kind of lame to do. I don't think he needed to say this publicly. Even if it's how he feels, I don't think it needed to be said. And this, I really don't want to hear this from somebody who said R.I.P. King Von, by the way. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
And nigga said R.I.P. King Von. I don't want to hear this bougie type talk now. I don't want to hear from Braun, all right?
That's a good point.
So, yeah, I personally, I just don't think he needed to say this. I don't think it was something somebody of his stature should be saying publicly to a city with a lot of good people still living there and supporting the NBA. So, yeah, but then again, this is Adam Silver's NBA where anything goes.
and see, that's the thing with Adam Silver too, man. He like he don't do what the NFL do. I feel like the NFL they just kind of do whatever they want. Like they get a lot of backlash for shit, and I think they take it on the chin a lot. The NBA, man, I feel like they look to see what people saying on Twitter. And if it's a big outrage, then they'll try to make a change soon as possible. I think with just hearing, honestly, just with LeBron James being so vocal like this about Memphis, I think they will look into moving Memphis to Nashville, man. Like, I could totally see it. I didn't think it was this bad, but just seeing LeBron being so vocal about this, he got a lot of influence, man. So with him being this vocal about this, and then seeing the montage of other people just hate playing in Memphis, I could see them, trying to, I think it probably will be a good look for the Grizzlies to be in Nashville, because Nashville's a hot city right now. So it might be a benefit, but I could see the NBA really looking into this and try and possibly making the move because of this. Not even because they feel like it's right, but just off the strength of the players complaining about it, man. It just seemed like that's how the NBA always rolled, or at least under Adam Silver's watch. So yeah, I think I thought LeBron took it way too far. I understand you saying, man, if somebody asked you what's the worst city to play in, and you say, man, Memphis, the hotel, but this motherfucker said I would never go to Memphis. I would never play for Memphis unless they had the first overall pick in 2003, and I probably would have pulled the Eli Manning. That's a lot to say, man. That's a lot to say. So I thought that was crazy, but honestly, man, I'm not mad at a player just saying, man, I don't like playing in. Hell, Joakim Noah didn't like playing in Cleveland.
Yeah, but that's Joakim Noah. So who cares what he says?
That's what I'm saying. Like taking LeBron out of it. Like, I'm not mad at fucking Channing Frye or Richard Jefferson saying, man, Memphis was awful or anything like that. But I think when you have multiple players saying this on top of LeBron James, the biggest star, pretty much co-signing it, I think at that point, I think it's something that I think the NBA is going to look into it eventually. I don't know when, but I think eventually, I think the NBA will look into trying to move it to Nashville. And that kind of suck if you stay in Memphis. If you like the Memphis Grizzlies, that kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, they're a historic team, man. They had the Grindhouse Grizzlies of the day. Like, they're known for their defense back in the day. They're one of the storied franchises of the NBA, man. And it would be weird to have the NBA without the Grizzlies in Memphis. And look, it's possible that it's already going to happen. I don't even think that this is something Adam Silver is considering because the players stayed. I think it's something he's already probably started to have talks with in terms of moving the team. So 100% it might happen. But I don't know. In general, this kind of goes with the whole, I think the NBA has a perception of its players being a little too whiny about shit. And this kind of goes into that. It goes into the, oh, we play too many games in the season. Oh, we don't want this game limit on the MVP awards. 65 games is too much to play for our players. What the fuck? Now, we don't want to play in this tournament. We don't want to fucking do anything, man. What do NBA players want to do? We don't want to go to this city. We don't want to play so many games. We don't do y'all even want to play basketball at some point? Yeah, motherfucking millionaires complaining about going to Memphis for a night. It's getting a little silly now, man. All right. It's getting a little ridiculous with the constant complaining about shit. Like just I don't want to be like shut up and dribble, but it's almost getting to that point now where it's like, look, let the retired players talk this shit on their podcast. If you're active in the NBA, it's getting a little too whiny for me with this, with all this shit. Just y'all always talking about what y'all don't want to do. All right, can you please just suit up and play?
Yeah, it felt like that, especially with this situation, because they were all was like, oh, we got to stay in the West End. Oh my God. I'm like, the West End is nice from where I'm from. Like that's a pretty good hotel, man. It's not the Ritz-Carlton, but it's a pretty decent hotel, man. Like it might be a little, it's not uppity, but it's damn near, if not a 4.5 star, 4 star. Like it's a good hotel. And everybody just complaining about how bad the West End is. And I'm like, damn, it must really be bad then. Or is it bad to their standards? And then also I was thinking, because when I saw them complaining about this, I'm like, damn, is anybody else complaining about it? But I realized there's no other professional team in Memphis. So I'm like, damn, like I thought I was wondering, is football players complaining? Is baseball players? Like they ain't got no other professional team. I think the other city people was kind of complaining about a little bit was New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And which kind of shocked me a little bit, because I'm like, damn, I thought New Orleans was a cool place to visit, not maybe live or something like that, because I know they got crime. They got I think they crime is worse than Memphis. But yeah, I guess from a New Orleans I guess the NBA standpoint, and it could go into your theory about them whining about it, but I guess some of the NBA players don't really like visiting New Orleans like that, or playing in New Orleans. But I'm like, damn, do football players have that same problem? I feel like they don't. You don't really hear them complaining about that. If they complaining, they're complaining about playing in some cold ass weather or some shit. Like you don't really hear, like as bad as Cleveland or what people feel like Cleveland is. The only time I hear people complain about Cleveland is the cold. Just playing and that's when it comes to football. But yeah, man, I think you got a point of them just kind of whining about everything, man, just complaining about everything.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little aggravating, man. It's starting to feel a little bougie. It's starting also, you bringing up New Orleans. It's starting to feel like, okay, y'all bringing up these cities known as being black cities, as being the cities that you don't want to visit. All right, Uncle Braun. You have to change your name now, man. You Uncle Braun now.
Ain't enough white women in them cities.
Apparently. Just say that. I respect that more than insinuating that something else is wrong.
They need some snow bunnies in the city.
Mm-hmm. That really is what it is, I'm sure. But yeah, man, it's getting a little silly. And I'm just tired of hearing the constant complaining from the players about everything that happens. And look, players complain everything. I remember people were bitching about the fucking pitch clock in baseball, and that low-key saved the sport. It made games a lot faster and more watchable. So
I'm glad you brought that up too. How do you feel about the ABS in baseball now, man? So for those who don't know, if you ain't been watching baseball, now they got the technology where they can challenge a pitch call. So if they throw a pitch and it's called a ball, a pitcher or a catcher can tap their helmet or head and they can challenge the call, and it kind of give you the feel. It's not the same technology for tennis, but you go right to the replay and then they show the pitch. And if it hit the zone or whatever, then they change the call to a strike. So that's been happening a lot lately. And a lot of it won some games and all that stuff. Have you been paying attention to that?
I've seen talk about it. I've seen it. And my one concern would be, how long does it take to challenge a call Because if it makes games longer, then I'm anti it.
Yeah.
But if it's pretty quick, then
It's
I'm
pretty
cool with it.
It's quicker. It's quicker than NFL challenging. It's quicker than the NBA instant replay. It's kind of like instantly.
Is it kind of like tennis where you see?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with it.
It might take a little, like for the pitches, it's instantly. Now, if it's like a did he touch the home base type deal, that could be a little bit long. That might be. I think that's something totally different. That's different from the ABS. But that might be a little longer to try to see. But as far as like a pitch, if it's a ball or a strike, that's instantly, man.
All right, here's my take on it, my official take, my very well thought out take. I like it if it helps the Astros. I hate it if it hurts them. Because I'm sure this is every fan's real thought about it. Okay, let's be real. Y'all don't give a fuck unless it helps, unless it hurts your team, honestly. Then it's the worst thing ever made in baseball. But if it helps you, you have no opinion on it, or you're pro, or you like it.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. If it helps the Astros, I'm down with it. If it hurts them, I hate it. That's my only thought about it.
Yeah, I do think it's gonna it's definitely gonna help hitters. It's definitely gonna help hitters because like if you pay attention to umpires, they kind of be wild with it, where they just, this is my strike zone, and they be calling pitches that's low strikes and all this other shit. And to me, I feel like they can do this, but players can challenge it now. So they can't keep doing this now. They can't just, I don't know if you're going to see a lot more players thrown out now because they got the resources to just challenge it, and then the call would change. And you don't really see a lot of players arguing with it either. Like if you look on the replay and that ball is in the strike zone and they try to challenge it because they thought it was a ball, then what they gonna argue at this point. So I do think it's helping the players, and also with the umpires, it's kind of making it's kind of making some of the umpires look silly too, man. Because for the longest, I kind of thought this wasn't going to happen because it was just going to make the umpires look stupid for all of these bad calls. But it kind of, I don't know. I wonder if it's going to get to a point. I'm not saying they're going to go away from the umpires for good, but I wonder if this is going to have an effect on their performance. Like all of these umpires, they get graded on performances and stuff like that. I don't know if it's at the end of the year or what, but I wonder if this ABS system is that gonna play effect to it, where it's just like, damn, you got like 50 calls overturned. Like they challenged 50 of your calls and they were overturned because you made a bad call. And it's not like players mess up too, or it was just a little mistake. If you getting a lot of them overturned and they keep challenging some of your questionable calls, and it's like, oh, that was a ball or that was a strike, I wonder would that have an effect on their performance or job going forward.
Yeah, as a casual watcher of baseball at best, I always thought the strike zone shit was one of the weirdest things about the sport. How it changes depending on who's the umpire and who's pitching, and how one thing can be a strike one game and in the next game it'll be a ball or some shit like that. I feel like that's way too important to be left to interpretation. Yeah. Like imagine if there was a field goal in football, there was like no bars and the refs just had to decide if it counted or not. Or some shit. That's kind of how it feels. It's way too important to just be left to somebody's interpretation of what's a ball and what's a strike. And then it's worse when you see the replay on TV. It's like, wait a minute, how the fuck was that a strike? And it's way out here. So as a casual fan, I like the idea of it because I do think there needs to be more of a streamlining of the game and how it works. People can really understand it. And I think all sports have moved this way with the instant replays in football and whatnot. And sometimes it gets kind of crazy with the what's a catch and what's not a catch. But I think this helps baseball personally. I understand some people are just traditionalists with baseball and they think anything involving technology is going to interfere with the game is going to suck. So I get that, but as a casual watcher, I would be more inclined to watch and understand the game, knowing that okay, this is how it works, and they could challenge this, and okay. So I'm down with it personally. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down with it. I think it's a good idea. And we seen so many bad calls, man, that caused a bunch of games. Hell, we just saw one. I don't know if you was watching the World Baseball Classic, but it was Team USA versus I want to say it was Dominican Republic. I want to say it was them. And they got somebody who was at bat. He got called out on a strike 3 that was very low, and I think Americans was saying that was a ball, and that would have walked him, and that you would have had Fernando Tatis up, and he could have won the game. So you left him in the batters. You left them on the side, man, because of a bad call. If the ABS was there, they would have challenged that, and that would have been a walk. And then, they could have changed the outcome. And, DR could have won that game and been playing in the finals. So I think stuff like that's the type of stuff that kind of pissed me off, especially with the umpires. And if you say something about it, you getting tossed. So I think now this, I'm sure you still go have some people get tossed, but this type of stuff prevents that a little bit. And it kind of show you that, hey, man, like, no, that's not a strike. Like, you need to keep your strike zone together. Like, no, you can't just be calling that BS type stuff. So I like it a lot, man.
I'm wondering if this is the beginning of just making the entire thing like depending on technology and not on the umpire at all. Like they'll have somebody catch it, but they don't get to call if it's a strike or not. They'll have somebody up we'll see the footage and say, okay, that's a strike. Okay, that's a ball. I'm wondering if it's going to go completely technology based at some point. It's like the beginning of it.
That's why I was wondering, man. That's why I was wondering. I think I don't understand why they can't just, because like we watching it from TV and they put the strike zone right there. We can see if it's a strike or a ball. If it hit that zone, it's a strike. If it don't, it's a ball. I don't understand why people can't call a game like that. And, I'm not saying just get rid of all the umpires. Maybe have somebody back there just in case, something else happened. I guess I don't know. But I don't understand why you depending on umpires to call something a strike or a ball. Like I don't get that, especially with the technology now where you can see it. Like every fan can see it on their TV. So I don't get why you got to be so old school with this sport that been playing around since the late 1800s. Why you still using the same type of style where you could just use technology and whenever somebody throw it down, by the plate, you can see if it's a ball or a strike. So maybe I don't know, maybe baseball just old school. Maybe the umpires might fight back. I don't know. Maybe that's why they don't like this, because they feel like their job gonna be in question. But I don't understand why they still rely on umpires calling balls and strikes.
Yeah, and look, I think baseball has actually been getting more popular lately. They have been gaining some steam and traction, and I think it, in part, at least has to do with the rule changes, making the game a little faster, making it more streamlined so people can follow along. And baseball is one of the most stubborn sports to change, by the way, in terms of how fans feel about the game. So there's going to be a clash with the old school and the new school for sure. And the old school heads are just going to have to admit the game is going to change, because every sport has changed in this way, really, except for baseball. Yeah. And if they want to get more popular and they want to get more people watching and invested, they got to make it so people don't hate the game and shit like this that happens with the umpires making bad calls. So I think it'll happen. I think people will be upset about it because they hate any change. But if it gets more people invested in watching, that's all they care about. So I can see it happening for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh yeah, last but not least, let's pull up this clip of Sauce Walka was on the podcast. And he said something that might be controversial about who the greatest rapper out of Texas is. And it might surprise some people, it might not. But he made a case for who the actual greatest rapper in Houston is. You see a picture of him that spoils it, but here you go. We'll listen to what Sauce has to say.
Respect and being the actual best rapper and all that shit type of shit too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's opinionated though. Skills is an opinion thing.
Okay, so we going off accomplishment and impact.
Yeah.
Accomplishments and impact.
Yeah, I would not skill.
Okay, accomplishments and impact.
Yeah.
And what, longevity?
Longevity. Yeah.
Accomplishments, impact, longevity.
Yeah.
Because you got to give me what we scaling off of, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, well, not even unfortunately because I respect and I love bro, but I'm just saying when we saying greatest rapper of all time from Texas with all of that shit, just hear me out. He's not my favorite and I love him and he's the truth. I love bro, but this is just.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
0. I'm sorry. And the reason why I gotta say 0 because why? I'm saying, bro, just hear me out, bro. Just hear me out. Just hear me out, my nigga. Just hear me out. It's other people from Texas that had their times of being bigger and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mike Jones, whoop and all that. But you saying the best rapper in Texas plus the impact.
He got a cult too.
0 did songs with Jay-Z. 0.
All right, Figgy, I'll let you start. I have a lot to say about this, but Figgy, I'll let you start, man. What are your thoughts about the take that 0 is the greatest rapper to come out of Texas?
So I'm gonna be quick with mine because I'm not a Texas born person, so I'm gonna take a back seat on this one a little bit. But I will say this: I do feel like 0 have it's like a cult following where I feel like whenever people bring up the greatest rappers from Texas, it's always somebody bringing up 0. It's like, hey, y'all sleeping on 0 whenever you bring it up Scarface, whenever you bringing up Paul Wall or whoever. It seems like a lot of people always bring up 0 in some type of way where it's just like 0, like, wait, what? And like I'm not sure if it's just a Houston thing where I had to be here to understand it, but I don't know. I just don't understand how. I don't see how you find somebody else that's big that's better than Scarface. Like I don't know. I just don't see it. I feel like maybe Scarface was in that tier where he was just worldwide, where maybe they trying to keep it more local. And Scarface was just so big where he did, had songs with Tupac, Jay-Z and all this other shit. Maybe, he got to the point where they didn't even consider him local anymore. I don't know. Like I'm kind of I guess throwing questions out there. But to me, I felt like this was a very hipster type of answer. Like I'm not gonna say Scarface, I'm not gonna say the names you're gonna say, but this is me doing my hip-hop homework, my underground type shit. 0 is the best. I felt like he was kind of giving that a little bit. And everybody I had discussions, like hip-hop discussions with, it's always the hipster ass nigga that's bringing up 0 or the hey, I know more hip-hop than you, and 0 is the best. And it's just like, all right, man. So yeah, I don't. Me personally, I felt like if I had to pick one, I would pick Scarface. I think Scarface is hell. He's in people's top 5 of all time. So just off of that, I just don't see how you could put somebody else from Texas over Scarface, unless you felt like his music wasn't really Texas. Like maybe it was on a different level or something like that. But I would go with Scarface.
Yeah, now I wouldn't have any issue if Sauce Walka's argument was about lyrical ability, maybe, or talent because look, you can't dismiss Zero's pen. The fact that he was singing on songs before it was popular and everybody was doing it. He was singing before when it was considered corny to sing on songs. He made that shit sound good and street somehow. The flow, the fact that he was doing that flow back in the mid 90s before people were catching on to that fast flow shit, really. The fact that you could actually understand what he was saying throughout his flow. The fact that he made so many albums that are all pretty good. I understand that. But his argument, what he said impact, longevity, and something else. Accomplishments or something like that, I think. And in those three categories, how could you not say Scarface is the best? Now, the funny thing is when he's like, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. He says that he repeats himself because he's trying to think try to make it make sense that Zero is this and not Scarface. But Sauce Walka is not dumb. I know he's done his homework and he knows that, okay, you want to bring up that Zero did a song with Jay-Z. He was on the hook with a song with Pimp C and Young GT, by the way. My bad. But look, Scarface did a song with Tupac. Scarface did songs with Kanye and Jay-Z.
And Jay-Z, yeah.
My bad. Man, I gotta drink something. My fucking throat.
Yeah, but I just didn't really understand that argument like that, man. I think he just, I don't know. I don't know if he's just trying to be different. I don't know if he's just trying to step outside the box a little bit. But I'm like, damn, Scarface got songs with Tupac, Jay-Z, Kanye. Like, nah, he's legendary status, man. I don't know. Unless he says something like, hey, I understand, Scarface the GOAT, a Texas rap. But outside of him, I will probably say or Zero or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. But what you were saying?
Wait, hold on. No, I might have to wrap this up. I don't know what's wrong. I'm fucking coughing like crazy. Something got stuck in my throat or something.
Yeah.
But oh yeah. So as far as accomplishments go, by the way, Scarface was the president of Def Jam South. What has Zero done in his career to match that or top that as far as accomplishments go? As far as longevity, Scarface started he'd been around since the 80s. He really blew up in early 90s, like 1991 with the Ghetto Boys. And that run went until at least the mid 2000s, where he was highly respected in the rap game. Now, Zero, here's the thing, man. Zero is like the hood nigga's favorite rapper in Houston. If you're a hood nigga, you love Zero more than anybody else. I know hood niggas and they worship Zero. They know every new album he got. They got the crack, meth, coke, whatever album he's pushing. They know it. But if you really know hip hop and you're aware of Scarface's career, nobody in Texas is bigger than him in rap. Nobody got that big. Nobody got that respected on all coasts. West Coast, East Coast, back when people considered Southern music to be slow and Southern rappers to be slow and dumb, basically, and not lyrical. He was the one guy that was seen as the exception. One guy that got shouted out by Biggie, did a song with Toop. Everybody respected Scarface back in the day, and they still respect him.
Yeah.
So it just seems a little ignorant, and I know he knows better. But the thing is, Sauce Walka is also the street nigga's favorite rapper, so he's got to appeal to them, and he's got to say the street nigga's favorite rapper is the greatest rapper of all time from Texas. But it's not true. It's Scarface 100%. Now, you might like Zero. Look, I listen to Zero more than Scarface. I'll admit that, and I love Zero, but I can't sit here and lie and make that case that of those three categories he named, that Zero is somehow bigger than Scarface. It's just not true. So that's all I gotta say. It just pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder, do you feel like Scarface is at that point where this might be a bad comparison, but how people in Detroit look at Eminem, where they just, Eminem is on another level, and now it's getting to the point like I ain't listening to Eminem growing up. I used to listen to so name other Detroit rappers that only stayed in Detroit. Do you feel like Scarface is at that level? Like, is they kind of looking at Scarface like that?
A little bit, but not really. I think here's the truth, man. People are ashamed to say to big up Eminem in Detroit because he's white. But that's really it. I don't think people are ashamed to big up Scarface, but it's more of they don't want to look like an old head. They want to, and street niggas bump more Zero, of course, than Scarface.
Yeah.
But I don't think people are really embarrassed to say Scarface, but I think in a way, maybe because it makes them look old. It might make them look old to people because Scarface don't make music no more. So maybe it kind of is. Maybe it is kind of like that, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see maybe an embarrassment of looking like an old head and you want to big up Zero instead of Scarface. But yeah, kind of.
And then I feel like too, I know Scarface is around more than Eminem is around in Detroit. I know Eminem be in the house, but Scarface kind of is like it's kind of rare to see a little bit. I feel like you're better off getting a Zero feature over a Scarface feature. That's more possible to get a Zero feature. And Zero, he still be rolling around, and he go by the thing with One Deep. Like he really be one deep, man. He really be by himself, man. So maybe that's more appealing than somebody like Scarface, who probably, be in the house, probably don't be in town as much. Like I don't know, he don't be out in these streets all the time. He older, of course, and going through health problems had his health problems, but I wonder if that's the case where it's just we see him more, because people was making that kind of argument with in Atlanta with Jeezy and Gucci. How everybody was rolling with Gucci over Jeezy because Jeezy, I guess he wasn't in Atlanta like that, and so I wonder if that's one of the reasons why. Because is it fair to have Zero? Because I didn't know anything about Zero when I lived in Cleveland. It wasn't until I moved here, and there was a couple songs that I recognized. But is it fair to say he's more of a local? I would say local Texas act. I wouldn't say just city Houston that. But do you feel like he's probably known more in the South? I give it that, more in the South than just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, 100%. Because Zero never had a breakout hit that hit nationwide. Scarface has had songs that have hit nationwide, played nationwide on video, on rap stations. And I'm not saying like the mainstream knew about him, but if you knew rap, you knew Scarface in the 90s.
Ghetto Boys. He was around Ghetto Boys and his solo career.
Yeah, like Seeing a Man Die, the song with Tupac, Mom Playing Tricks on Me. These were national hits in hip hop. Zero never had anything like that on his own. He's had local hits. Everybody here knows Mo City Dawn.
Yeah,
but I don't think anybody in New York or California really knows Mo City Dawn like that.
Yeah, and see, that's where I was getting at. I was curious, like, because seeing Sauce Walka say that, if you're not from Houston or you're not in Texas, that might sound a bit wild. And I know it sound wild to us a little bit, but that sound even wilder if it's somebody in, let's say somebody in Compton or something, or somebody in New York. They're like, man, he just Zero over Scarf. They might name everybody but Zero. They might name Paul Wall. They might name Millionaire. They might name Slim Thug. They might name fucking anybody else. And so it do come across as wild. It's like, wait, what? But maybe locally it's not, it don't sound as wild because so many, like you said, so many hood niggas like Zero.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people would say that here, I think. But nationwide, they wouldn't. But here, I think you definitely get some against the grain ass niggas and be like, nah, Zero's actually the greatest. You ain't heard so and so album, Life of Joseph McDay. And look, I understand it. Like I said, I'm a Zero fan. I've been a fan for a long time. I enjoy his music. I mean, another thing about Scarface too is Scarface has always downplayed people putting him on that pedestal. Always. He's done podcasts with people, with big rappers who come out and said, man, you're the greatest who ever did it. And he's like, nah, don't say that. I'm not. Like, he always downplays his own talent. He always bigs up other people. So I know some people just do that, but I really don't think he sees himself as one of the greatest rappers ever. I don't even think he sees himself anywhere near that level. He's always kind of been like that. He's always kind of downplayed his talent and relevancy in hip hop. And I think that kind of has to do with it too. I think maybe if he was more accepting of that crown, like back when the whole King of the South debate was going on and everybody was like, well, Scarface is actually the King of the South. He said he didn't want that title. Well, I'm sorry, but you are the King of the South, really, at least the King of Houston. And if you don't want the crown, fair enough, but you are the best that ever did it to come out of Texas, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so, but that's one part of it too. He's very humble to a fault almost, where he just doesn't play up himself at all. And I think Zero, at the very least, he calls himself the king of the ghetto. So there is some braggadociousness going on with him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Real quick, while we on Houston stuff, I don't know if I should salute this. I was trying to do a little research on this because I don't know if you saw this, but Supreme is doing the collab with DJ Screw.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering because it kind of get tricky with people doing stuff like that. And my first thought is, is this part of the Screw family too? Are they, is this something they benefiting off of? Because I haven't seen, anybody there promoting that like that. So I was wondering, like, is this cool to, support? Or is it like, man, we ain't got nothing to do with that. Support the Screw Shop. Have you heard anything about that? Or
I've heard, and I don't know who exactly sourced this from, but I heard his family was cool if it ain't supported it.
Really? Okay.
And here's the thing, by the way, because I saw you say this, but not just you. Some other people did this too. And look, here's the thing: a brand as big as Supreme cannot put out a product with somebody else's image without consent of whoever owns that likeness. So there's no way that this could be put out without Robert Davis' family's approval or whoever has the rights to his likeness, which I'm sure is his family. So there's no way they could not know this. This was coming.
Yeah, no, I get that part. But just me, because I went to the Screw Shop, I want to say it's a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they were kind of explaining to me like, yeah, it'd be a lot of people out here selling merch, and maybe they could be just niggas on the street just with a heat press or something. But they told me the best way to support is to buy something from the Screw Shop, because that's still family owned and they still running it. And that money is going directly to the family. It's in the family. So that's why I was wondering. I'm like, man, because I get they probably do got the permission, but I was wondering, like, is this something out of your hands? Is this technically, yeah, that's cool? Or, is it better to kind of support what the Screw Shop got going on? That's what I was kind of wondering. And yeah, I did tweet that. I would, and this is how I feel about it. I'm not the type of person to say, don't buy this. You know what I mean? If they ain't, you could buy whatever you want with your money. Hell, we all buying Nike, we all buying designer shit, and that shit ain't going to our families or nothing. Or, like, I'm not the type of person that say, hey, don't support this because it ain't going to the family. But I did want to make it clear that, you know, people, if you are a DJ Screw fan, hey man, but like I think some of that stuff was cool, but man, like I feel like you could just, you know, if you really want to support DJ Screw, man, you could buy something at the Screw Shop, man, because they got merch and all that shit too. And I don't know, I like the support Supreme was doing, but I really wasn't a fan of some of the merch, man. Like I ain't think it was really all that where I'm like, ooh, let me spend 200 on this. Like to me, like in my mind, I'm like, damn, I might as well buy a shirt from the Screw Shop then. Like I don't think it was that fire. I think the collab is cool, but I don't think it was that fire where I'm like, man, like the Screw Shop ain't got nothing this fire. So let me get this. So that's why I was just kind of curious. I was just kind of curious if, you know, if it's a benefit for people to really support Supreme in that.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Supreme has always been a brand, not always, but in recent times, so probably the last 15 years or so, a brand for fucking hype beasts and fuckers who just want to look cool and ride a wave. All right. There's nothing really special about Supreme anymore. It's become kind of one of the more corny brands in general. You got fucking complete nerds who don't listen to rap, rocking Supreme or into the culture at all. And rocking Supreme shit just because it says Supreme on it, paying $300 for a fucking t-shirt and because it says Supreme on it. And the designs used to be cool as hell, but now they've kind of fallen back. I didn't like the UGK collab really. No, I did buy a shirt, but I didn't really like the designs of it. And I don't like the designs of this DJ Screw collab. I think they could have done better. I would have rather like a picture of the 3 a.m. cover or some shit. Than some of the shit they went with. I didn't think it looked all that good. And it looked like something you could get from the Screw Shop, basically, like you said.
That's where I was getting at with it. I'm like, man.
People just like the Supreme on it. That's the thing. They're paying 200% more for the Supreme logo, which you can barely even see on these shirts, by the way, which is the funniest part. But it's just wearing Supreme. People want to wear Supreme and look like they got something going on. But I'm also of the mind that anything that spreads awareness of something is a good thing because it will end up in more money for Robert Davis's family and the Screw Shop. Because you think that, okay, people who do get this collab be like, I don't want to look like a poser. Let me go ahead and get some screw tapes so I look like I know this shit. Then they might jam this shit and say, oh, this is actually real hard. Let me go ahead and get some more. Yeah. That is better than not having it.
Yeah.
So I do think people were upset for some silly reasons saying, oh, you're going to have some people rocking this that ain't never bumped a screw tape before. Who the fuck cares, man? All right. Yeah. As long as it gets somebody interested, because the only alternative is to have his legacy just die out completely because people already don't know that slowed and reverb came from DJ Screw and DJ Screw music. People don't know this. Do you believe that? Yeah. People do not know who DJ Screw is or what Screw music is. I go in the comments of these slowed and reverb, and people don't know that it started off as Screw music.
Yeah.
Because he died in the year 2000, I believe. It's been 25 plus years since then. People are starting to forget. So anything that puts his legacy and his picture up for people to see on a big platform is good to me. Yeah. Because it makes people remember, oh, this is where it started. This is where the culture came from. This is where all y'all sipping lean and doing all this shit this new niggas do. This is where it started.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good thing. And yes, you will have a lot of people faking the funk, but who cares, man? I think anybody, if you get some white nerd from Berkeley fucking rocking a DJ Screw t-shirt, I think that's all right, man, because at least people will see that and remember the man and look him up maybe and get some merch from the actual store and get some CDs and get into the culture. So yeah. I'm not against it personally.
Yeah, I'm not against it either. And maybe I probably should have made it more clear because some people was talking crazy. And I'm like, I'm not hating at all. I'm trying to look out for the Screw Shop. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's important, man. Like, because looking at the gear that they had, the merch, I'm like, this look like they got this straight out the screw shop, man. And I'm like, if that's the case, man, you better off just ordering straight from screwedUpRecords.com, man, and support if you really want to support Screw and support the family and all that. Hey, you could go there and get some, and that's all I really wanted to do is just kind of let people know. And look, you could do whatever you want with your money, even if it wasn't going to the family. Like if this was just Supreme just hijacking, like if you want to spend your money on that, hey, so be it. But look, man, they got some cheaper shit at the screw shop too, man. And how cool is that to say, hey, I got this from the actual screw shop? I think that's I know Supreme is the brand, but shit, man, I'm good with just getting something from the screw shop.
No, I agree, man. And I think this will help them. I think if somebody in New York buys a DJ Screw shirt, next time they come to Houston, they're gonna stop by the screw shop.
Yeah.
Say, okay, let me go ahead and actually get some official shit. So I think in the end, it helps everybody. It helps Supreme look like they tapped in. It helps Houston, put the music back on the map for people who have forgotten where it came from. It helps the screw shop. It helps everybody, I think. I'm not against it. The only thing I'm against is the price tags of this bullshit and the designs. I think they could have been better. But I'm not against the collab in principle. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm actually fine with it, but I just want to make sure, hey, you can still go to the screw shop if you want, or if you don't even live here, I think you could actually order some stuff online too. So I just wanted to put that out there too, because shit, it's some people that forget that it's still there, man, or don't even know it's there. But I do think this would help as well. I think I'm fine with bringing awareness, man. Like you ain't gonna get even like I don't know how much they getting, but I think for the simple fact a brand like that was up for a collab like that, hey, that's a win regardless.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Supreme, period. I got some Supreme shit. They added like a Tekken collab I had to get because I'm a fucking gamer dude. But I'm not a fan of their whole business model of making one run of things and then never bringing it back. So and then the having to get on their website and deal with the fucking bots and fight to get something in your cart and shit sells out so quick. Yeah. It's annoying, man. So I'm not a fan of the whole business model of making everything super limited for no reason.
Yeah.
But look, if people like it, people want to cop it, I have no issue with it. So
for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, but I think that did it sell already or was it later on?
I thought let me see.
I want to say I thought it happened on the 2nd. Yeah, I think it already.
I was going to say
April
2nd today.
Yeah, so that's just gone now. So if you didn't get it, go by the screw shop and use something official.
Yeah, I'm looking on here now. Yep, it look like everything. So I do want to see the people that's actually buying this.
A few of them, and that's another annoying thing about their business model. A lot of them just buy to sell it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they got some shirts for going for $400 on eBay or whatever. I'm like, all right, man, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's crazy, man.
Lil Wayne just tweeted pussy ass, but I don't know who he's talking to.
Is he talking about Gucci Mane?
Oh, I guess it's some sports shit. I think he's talking about UConn or some shit. I don't know. Whatever, man. Gino, well, okay, he's talking about college basketball. All right. Whatever, Lil Wayne. Anything else going on?
Yeah, he need to speak up a little bit. Like, who are you talking about? Because I would have said he was talking about Gucci Mane.
Nah, he don't know nothing about that. Remember, somebody gonna ask him. He's like, "Wait, what happened? Gucci Mane was robbed."
Yeah, somebody gonna ask him.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be 20, 2032.
I can't even do Lil Wayne's voice. I'll be listening to all that. I don't know what's going on. I just watch the at the end.
He gonna be like Gucci who? Shout out to my nigga Gucci.
So yeah, that might about do it for this podcast, man. I want to thank everybody who joined us and listened in, and we'll be back at it next week, same time, same channel ish. And make sure y'all check out what's the website, Figgy? Pat Eve Baby.
Yep. PatEveBabyFoundation.org.
And if you can't, you don't see it on the stream, it's Pat PATEVE. Is it BABY or BABE?
BABE.
Okay. Pat PATEVE Foundation.com. Go ahead. .org, my bad.
Yeah.
And go ahead and check that out. Support Figgy and his charity foundation, man.
Yeah. If you have any questions, just follow me on Instagram at the Figgy Fig. And yeah, just let me know.
Hell yeah, man. And we appreciate y'all, all y'all. We love y'all. And until next time.
Peace.